We head into week 4 in the NFL, and there are still 6 teams standing without a loss. Let's get into it. Katie Caldwell, Jeff Lloyd back here with you today. So, Jeff, these are the remaining undefeated teams: the Chargers, the Eagles, Bills, Bucs, 49ers, and Indianapolis Colts. Which one feels the most legit to you right now?
Uh, I would probably say the Bills, and the thing for the
Hmm.
Bills, though, is imagine what that 11, 12 days was like. You know what I'm saying? Sunday night, the miraculous comeback, and anybody who said they watched every second of it, you're liars. You opened your phone Monday morning and said, "Oh, man, I had no idea. I had no idea that was coming." But then you fast forward it, and all of a sudden, Thursday night, 11 o'clock, Bills are 3-0
Hmm.
with 10 days off. I mean, could you ask for a better start of a season if you're a football team?
Truly.
So certainly, the Bills, that was if I thought Kansas City was gonna take the step back this year, ideally, you think that opens up something for a Baltimore or a Buffalo.
Hmm.
And, last year in that stadium before they opened the new place, and Josh Allen just it's hard to believe that a player of that caliber, where he is at in his career, can maybe get better. But, like, every year, it's like, it's different receivers, and there's, a tweak here, a tweak there, and Josh Allen just goes out and just does his thing. And there's times even where he gives you, like, a mediocre game, and Buffalo still wins by double digits. He doesn't have to be the hero. He doesn't have to wear the S on his chest.
Hmm.
They're just a really put together team, and, you know, with Chauncey Gardner-Johnson getting released from Houston, and as much as a pain in the can as this guy is, and it's was in Florida and it was everywhere he's been in the NFL, he is truly a defensive difference maker,
Yeah.
and a team like Buffalo could really use somebody like that in their secondary. And there's been guys before who've had this type of issues that end up in Buffalo, and all of a sudden, that ego gets checked at the door.
Yeah.
So that's a guy out there where I think maybe could connect with Buffalo and takes a team that's really good right now and just makes them possibly even better.
Which team is the biggest surprise to you so far? I think for me, the 49ers, I was not very high on them. They lost so many starters. And then now they've been dealing with so many injuries. They're the one that I don't see them seeing or staying undefeated that much longer, especially with Nick Bosa. Also, the Chargers, though, you and I talked about it heading into the season, and on my podcast, I had the Chiefs' record prediction at 9-8, and the Chargers winning the division, and they looked at me like I had two heads. But I'm feeling a lot better about that now. But the Chargers, I was really high on, but I didn't see this coming. Like their offense, especially, looks so cohesive. We talked about all offseason, they're going to run the damn ball. That's going to be their move. And then they come out and it's pass play, play action. Like it's been so fun watching them. Those are the two that are the biggest surprises for me. Who were you most surprised by that they're undefeated right now? And Chargers defense, I can't forget when I talk about their offense, their defense is pretty damn good too.
No, I mean, you certainly have to, bring up the Colts. And look, and the thing with the Colts is if it was either quarterback and this team was 3-0 right now,
Hmm.
you would garner it as a surprise.
Yeah.
I'll be honest though, I would say if you look at San Francisco and you factor in the amount of injuries before Bosa and Kittle's not playing, and you're missing, your top wide receiver. And of course, for the last two
Brock
games,
Purdy.
McCorkle Jones has been your starting quarterback and is 2-0 for the San Francisco 49ers. Yes, I agree. Business is about to pick up for San Francisco, and
Mhm.
losing Bosa is critical because I think getting guys back on offense, that's great, but you were already doing enough on offense to win these games. Bosa, losing him is
Yeah.
certainly the interesting one. And I think a team like San Francisco and ultimately a team like the Chargers could end up in competition with each other. If there's a pass rusher that sort of becomes available here, Khalil Mack is out for a while. God knows he's going to come back, but what is he going to be when he comes back? Is he
Right.
going to be limited? Is he going to be Khalil Mack? And, if I'm the Chargers, I've already lost, I lost, Najee Harris is my running back who is, not doing a lot, but was there and consistent. The Chargers right now, I mean, if I'm them, I'm already looking around. Is there a way I can bolster my roster even more? Because I know my division is talented. And yes, I do have a 2.5 game lead technically right now. But I don't, in a blink of an eye, it could be 1.5, and then all of a sudden you got to fight off everybody all over again. But I would say the fact that San Francisco is doing it, for their last 2 games with their backup quarterback is probably makes us impressive, keeping in mind, no starting wide receiver, no
Mhm.
Kittle. And, so I think for San Francisco, and, I was away for a second. Actually, I think I was doing the video actually for TJ at the time. And I opened it back up and I'm like, wait a minute, San Francisco won? Like, I was not expecting
Yeah.
that, but, San Francisco at 3-0. And look, with the injuries they're dealing with, it's nice to be 3-0 because it does give you a tad bit of breathing room here until hopefully some of the offensive reinforcements start making their way back.
Quick pause. If you haven't subscribed to the BetCanada YouTube channel, you can do so below. It's free and it helps support our channel so we can keep bringing you NFL and NHL content. Now, back to the show. Who do you think will hold on to this the longest?
The Bills have the Saints, then they have the Patriots, then they have the Falcons, then they have the bye week, then they
Yeah.
have the Panthers. They face the Chiefs in week 9. So the Bills are going to be undefeated going into week 9. There's no question about that. Now, Eagles, if they get past Tampa, they are then going to Denver. It's not the easiest place to play,
Mhm.
obviously. Then it's Giants, Vikings, Giants, and they go to the bye week, week 9. If they get past Tampa, I don't know where the loss comes. And then week 10 for the Eagles would be Green Bay. Week, I mean, maybe week 9 for the Bills against the Chiefs would, but it's not going to stun me that to say that the Bills and the Eagles could easily be 8, 9-0 easily, because it's going to take for, because these teams are so well rounded. They're
Mhm.
not, these teams, it's not going to be because one thing went wrong that they lost a game. They have to have like multiple facts. So we got to lose the turnover battle. We have to commit a ton of penalties. We didn't cover very well, and we didn't like. They need 3 or 4 things to go wrong for them to really lose a game because that's how well rounded these teams are. So if you told me Buffalo and Philly, and we're talking 9-0, 10-0, it wouldn't surprise me for either one of these teams now.